Hello, hi, welcome and thank you for being here today. I hope you're having a gorgeous day, a gorgeous night. We're gonna get you some clarity. We're gonna start with the tea leaf because these messages are sort of all over the place. It can be anything. So let's get some clarity and then go with the flow. This reading is timeless, so whenever it finds you, it's perfect. Always follow and trust and really connect to that direct, beautiful, deep, divine connection you have to your higher self, to God, to source, to the universe. The answer is, it's always in you. And you're gonna know when it feels like your message, and if it just doesn't feel like your message, it's for someone else. Try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition, so your decisions are sound, based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. What are some opening messages to be aware of and have insight on? Please and thank you. Is there anything from this half of the tea leaf that would be helpful to know? Any messages from this half? There's some that keep popping back out. All right, you have two. You have an archway and a broken wishbone. So there's something that maybe didn't work out according to plan. It's a wish that you had, and there's something that is not being granted, but that is for a purpose. That's for a reason. It's because there's something better that can come in than what you were focusing on. So I do feel like it's going to be a little disappointment when something doesn't work out, but I do feel like you're going to have this rush, this excitement that's going to come in from something else actually working out. Or it's kind of like I'm getting kind of divine protection here. There's something that you kind of wanted, but it wasn't really meant for you. And with the archway, this is providing you like an open doorway, maybe a bridge across to a particular situation. It's a new path, it's new possibilities, it's new opportunities, and it's something that is absolutely opening up for you effortlessly. So if there's a closed door, it's because you got an open archway somewhere else. So that closed door is maybe a disappointment, but it's redirecting you to focus in a different direction because there's something pretty big waiting for you another way. So let's see, let's go to the second half. What else would be helpful for the collective on broken wishbone, archway, new opportunities and possibilities? And it's not just one path here. You have multiple paths that are opening up to you. So it could even be that you have to make a choice, you have to make a decision, even reschedule something so you can go down different paths, but maybe not all in a day. And you got a little romance waiting for you. I even try to go neutral here for you guys. With one of the most neutral, decks of cards I can find. And you guys do have some romance about to blossom in your life. Maybe this is down that brand new archway, that new possibility, that new path that is opening up to you. Maybe you had some disappointment with an old partnership or something that you kind of wanted it to work out, but I do feel like you learned something about yourself if there was a closed door on a partnership. I also feel like with this romance in the air that it could just be an energy. It doesn't necessarily have to be about a person. I feel like this is kind of a glowing energy. So maybe you're doing a glow up. I actually do see a salon or a barber shop. So maybe you're doing something a little different, getting your nails done. I feel like this is just kind of a romantic energy, even if it's that you're just going out with a friend Maybe you're going out to kind of a romantic environment, you know, a really sassy restaurant, something like that, like not the usual pub. Maybe you're giving yourself a reason to dress up and do something a little different. I do see a concert, and I see a city. So maybe if you're typically in the country, there's something you're going to that's more of a city environment, like out on the town. It's interesting. I actually see Central Park, but it makes me think of the concerts they had in Central Park. So maybe you're doing something kind of in a city, but it's also kind of in nature, like a little conundrum. Very specifically, because of that red rose, I just thought of even that archway. I thought of Red Rock. I know not everybody lives near that, but I sort of feel like it's kind of like a theater that's outside. Now I just thought of like a outdoor movie. Maybe some of you are doing something where even you're going to a friend's house, but I see a projection on a house, but it could also be like a good old drive-in movie, you know, like Grease style. So that's kind of fun. Maybe you live near a drive-in movie. I just saw one of those places that people come up to the window on roller skates. Do they even have them anymore? I don't know. Or like you kind of in your car get your food, but there's also something entertaining. Maybe you just like roller skates. Now I just thought of the people that roller skate by the beach, maybe Miami or LA, San Francisco. Wow, I got a lot off of these. So let's continue on. Let's do something a little different. I want to go to the Soul's Journey cards, and let's just see what is a current lesson that you are... I actually heard passing the test with flying colors. Maybe you felt like you were being tested, or maybe I hear testing your patience. Maybe this was a lesson that was taking a long time. But I feel like you're at the end, you're at the graduation. You're really letting go of something that you've gone through. Let's see. What is the soul's lesson that the collective is having awareness on right now? But they are patience. That's exactly what I just saw. Testing your patience. So maybe you feel like you've had to have a lot of patience with yourself, patience in doorways or archways opening up, patience in why something didn't work out the way you really felt it was going to, patience with another person, patience with something, even I hear being provided or being built for you. Maybe that's even a home. It's a hiccup. I get a hiccup. Maybe there was a hiccup or like a little break. I don't know why I just thought of the Pink song. I think she has a song that was like a hiccup song. It was like her first album. I cannot hear it though. Patience is I accept everything happens in divine order. That's that shut door. If there's a shut door, it's because it's getting you to an open doorway. If there's also a shut door, it could still be that there is a wish for you behind that door, but something needed its divine timing to work itself out. So it's in the right vibration. So it's ripe and ready for you when the door opens. So it could be that that door shut kind of took you on a different path for a while, but maybe something does circulate you back to that door, but that door is going to feel like it's kind of open and warm and inviting and not padlocked shut. You know, if you go around and something's still shut, that's I just think it's a blessing in disguise somehow. So patience is a virtue. There's also something about, like, this makes me think of stained glass. It also looks like sunshine, and it also looks like like a button, like a ding ding, like I see a doorbell when I look at that. So perhaps some of you are getting a visitor, or you're going to visit a friend, or somebody, you know, comes by out of the blue. I feel like you're going to get a little bit of heads up. I don't think somebody's going to just knock on your door. I feel like you're going to get at least a text, but it could be somebody random, like, hey, you know, I'm in town. I think I'm in your neighborhood. Are you home? Do you want to, you know, catch up? So I do feel like some of you are going to catch up with somebody that you haven't seen in a while. But also with this romance in the air, I feel like if some of you are meeting somebody new, or perhaps reconnecting, or even rekindling, you know, that romance that was blooming, but maybe you got into the daily grind. There's something where you're kind of bringing that romantic energy back into your world somehow, or somebody's going to be bringing that into yours. But I'm getting with that rose, take your time. I don't feel like there's a rushing energy. I feel like it's more like really smelling the roses. I also feel like some of you are doing some kind of cleanse, because now I just saw a bath with rose petals. I mean, maybe somebody, maybe you know, you had a hard day and your honey's like, well, I drew you a bath, and you go in and there's like candles and rose petals in there. But maybe you're just doing that for yourself. Maybe that's, you know, the little catalyst to kind of, you know, sass up your energy for that concert you're going out to, or that friend you're going to hang out with. So I kind of like these messages. All right, let's get a few from the mystery deck. Let's go to the mystery deck and just, I don't know, get one or two. Let's just see what comes out. What are a few mystery messages that would be helpful? Please and thank you. On patience, divine timing, opportunities, new possibilities, new solutions, new romance, and kind of just letting something go that maybe was an old wish, but I feel like with all this energy, you're going to have new wishes. Like I hear imagination. Like your imagination is going to be on fire on all these new possibilities that you can do. Interesting that came out with the divine order. There is going to be maybe something that feels a little off. It's like, why did this happen now? You know, this is not when you were ready for something. You don't even have your house ready and somebody's going to show up. Or, I don't know, there's something about something happening and maybe you have to turn on a dime. Maybe you feel like it's an inappropriate time, but there's something about the timing actually being just right. I even feel like this connects somehow to the past. It could be right person, wrong time, but actually not the wrong time and was the right person. It could also be wrong person, but happened in the right time because maybe, I don't know, kind of like a disconnect with a person actually helped you heal, helped you grow, helped you step back into a position of your personal power. Like it's like a quick lesson that you got to learn in a weird manner, but actually is beneficial for you, for your future, for the right position or person or partnership. I hope that made sense. There's definitely something where at the time you're like, this is not the right time. Why did this have to happen now? You know, I'm not prepared for it. I have to make a lot of changes. You know, I don't even know how to make the next move, but there's something where that kind of off balanced sort of energy or something taking you off balance or taking you by surprise is actually to be a catalyst. It actually had a purpose. It could even be where you met somebody, there was a shut door, or you had a conversation about a possible opportunity, whether that's career or whatever, and yet it never quite worked out. It's because that timing, that space, that, you know, pause had a purpose. Maybe it created growth. Maybe it did spark a lot of change, but changes need to happen, I hear, on their own accord, or perhaps in individual arenas for something to solidify again maybe very soon or in the future in the right way. Woo, that was a lot. All right, let's see. I feel like you just have to have a lot of faith here. Maybe you were questioning. I hear why like that, or why now? You're gonna get the answer, but maybe not right away, and maybe not how you think. Let's get one more. Oh, well, you do have romance in the air. Maybe you don't really understand why you have the feels for a specific person, or how big the feels would be. When it comes to the feels, sometimes the feels can feel overwhelming if you're not ready, or if it's so deep that you don't have words to describe what it is you are feeling. So there's definitely somebody that I think has the feels for you. Maybe the timing for that expression wasn't right. Maybe that timing is going to actually come together, and you can talk about how you each feel, whether that is romance or whether that is how you feel about maybe an environment or a project. I feel like you're working through something rather than blocking something. I also feel like there's maybe something that you felt was broken, but then you, I hear mending, and I think that I hear mending and I hear grasp. So it's like you get to like grasp, but it's not like holding on. I'm getting more like embrace a new possibility or a new opportunity that feels even better, more stable, more real. Maybe it's grounding the feels instead of just letting something pass you by. I hope that made sense. I feel like that would be a conversation to get on the same page, be honest and open, vulnerable, real and raw. That was a lot on all of this. I hope that made sense. So I do feel like because you have the rose and romance and the feels, I have to pull some kind of love card, but I don't know what I have here. I guess this one. I have the Divine Truth. I don't have any other love decks up here. So let's shuffle. I'm going to get just one. Let's just get one, because I feel like a message needs to come through, but I'm not really getting that this is a whole romance reading, because I'm getting a surprise. I feel like there's something you're going to be surprised about, or there's something that doesn't need to come through as a message because you're going to get to be in that experience. And I'm kind of getting a little bit of that closed door, like I'm not supposed to give you all of the info, or I'm getting like a block because it's supposed to be a received blessing that, I don't know. I'm getting that you're having a surprise come in, and I feel like I'm not supposed to ruin the surprise. Maybe you just have to know that you're going to be surprised with something pretty bright and beautiful. Let's get one. What is one message from the Divine Truth that would be helpful when it comes to romance, relationships? You guys saw that, right? You saw. Oh, out of all of, look at how many cards are here. And this is what wants to come out. So that's also probably why this came out, because there's something that's a connection that's deep in your soul. It doesn't have to do with time. It's eternal. So if you feel like, something didn't work out and you're not sure why you are, or why you are here, or why you met this person, or why this person is going to, or already has really catapulted a lot of changes in your life that you just don't understand. This is an energy that could make you feel a little gray, a little questioning yourself all the time. Is this real? Do you really feel that? Is that a soul pull? is that a dynamic that you really, you know, are feeling? Does the person feel the same way? Yeah, they do. They do. Because you got the twin flame. You got a divine union. This is beyond lifetimes. It's a vibrational match, but sometimes that match is so magnetic that it actually like pushes you apart, or one can't take that energy. So one usually runs away, ignores that. They don't know how to process what is happening because it's incomparable. It's definitely divinely orchestrated. It's also something that is going to bring deep healing. It's going to trigger a lot of things that maybe for lifetimes you have not wanted to look at, because it's going to really like catapult your soul, really elevate your spirituality and your growth. It's going to make so many beautiful changes in your life, and it's a dynamic that heals overall. It heals you, it heals this person, it heals the world, and it's really big. And sometimes that energy is so big that you have to be in your own big energy and really refocus that self-love. Maybe that's why I saw, you know, the roses in the bath. Maybe that is with another person. I mean, this would be ultimate romance, ultimate chemistry. This is going to be somebody that it doesn't matter if it's years that you don't see that person. You're never going to really have them out of your energy, because there's a direct connection that is so spiritually deep that there's not really a disconnect, but you do need to reconnect that energy to self-healing. So divine partnership, twin flame, label, no label. If that doesn't feel like your journey and this doesn't make sense and you are still watching this reading, it is highly possible that there is that kind of connection that is like, you know, calling your soul, that is preparing you right now, that you are going to undeniably feel at some point. And I feel like it is in this lifetime. There's also something where, you know, with the timelessness of that energy, it's always powerful. It's very confusing. And it's probably something that you really can't talk to many people about. And it's also where the answer is, it's absolutely in you. It's not out there, because your direct connection to source, to this person, to your higher self is so personal. It's your journey, and it's really beautiful. And it's really special. And it's probably really hard as hell, but meant to be, because there's something really special about you gifted this kind of love, because it's unconditional. It's not a hold. And if you find that you are, there's a fine line, and I do want to bring this message through, because if you are attaching to a person, but it is to the point where it is so constricting and it's border, you have to know if this is that unconditional, you always want the best for the other person, whether they choose you in free will or not. It's where that love is so true and free that you don't ever selfishly constrict or desire or to hold anyone. You want this person to choose whatever is right for them. And if that means that you don't get to be together, you still have so much love, even though that hurts like a you know what, you still, the love is bigger than the desire, than the ego. And if you find that there's too much ego, too much obsession, too much kind of lower vibration, selfish, lusty, want, and constricting kind of energy, you have to see if that is maybe a false twin, or if this is a intense karmic partnership that is still going to elevate you and uplift you and help you heal, because it's going to help you distinguish the difference between when it's that brilliant light of God and that beautiful reflection in one another, or where it's something that came in as a big, hard, rough, fast lesson to help you heal, to still get you in the right vibration for a partnership that is more divinely guided to come in your life. So sometimes you meet somebody and it feels like it's that. It's really like a lot of intensity, but if it's constantly, if it's unhealthy, then you have to be the one to recognize the difference. And if there's anything that is unhealthy, you have to allow that to go away and learn big lessons from that, because it takes you to that healthy energy. It takes you to setting new boundaries. It takes you back to recognizing how freaking beautiful you are and how strong your soul is and how you deserve nothing but what is divinely brought into your life for your highest and your greatest good. Okay, let's continue. Let's do a tarot. Let's do the tarot. The feels, twin flame, essence. And I don't know why I feel the need to say this, because I do feel like this is such a small percentage. And when I do readings, I just allow whatever comes out to come out, because I trust that the messages go where they should. And if you are watching a reading but it doesn't feel like it's your message, if it is triggering you in any way where you're like, I don't want a person in my life, blah blah blah, then this is not your reading. This is meant to come out there for the one who is really embracing it and needs to hear the messages. And if you still find yourself here, there is probably still a message that is valuable to you. It's still going to bring some kind of self-reflection. So see where that message takes you, what it is, the path it is leading you towards. Maybe it is telling you that the love thing is not for you, and you are in a great position where you just want some independence in your life, to really learn to recognize who you are and, what your soul is leading you towards as far as experiences in your life, because we're all on different paths. So everybody's story is different. Trust your story. And let's get some messages. So what is the overall focus that would be helpful for the collective watching this reading today to know about, as far as romance in the air? I feel like I always want to sing that. Romance in the air. What is that song? I think that was actually a melody. I think that's Strangers in the Night. I think I just strangers in the night, two lonely people. I always think of, I know this is corny and I'm totally aging myself, but that movie License to Drive with like Corey Haim and Heather Graham. She was like a little girl, and he takes her on a date, and she wrecks the grandfather's like blue Cadillac because she has her heels. She's dancing on the hood of the car, and he's like, no, not the car. But I feel like it was that song that played. Interesting how a song can just take you right back to a certain memory. It's so powerful. I love that. So what do we have? We have smoother waters ahead. It also looks like you have, I know these are arrows, but that kind of looks like a bouquet of wheat. So there's something about a harvest coming in, or somebody bringing you a bouquet, or this person has this little smirky smile on their face, like they know something you don't know. Like, I did see something about a secret. So, I mean, look at that person's face. It's like, no, nothing's going on over here. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So there's maybe that's like something in your soul. It's almost like your soul smiling, even though your brain might be like, what is going on? I'm kind of getting that, or your heart is kind of giving you a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Something's going to come through and it's going to feel a lot better. So that's good. Maybe this is where you had to go your own way. Get your own paddle, get your own rowboat, and maybe take a little journey. But this is a journey where you get clarity. This is a journey where you learned how to unanchor yourself from the shore if you want that movement in your energy. Unanchoring yourself to a specific mindset or a specific wish that had to turn out in a specific time frame with a specific person in a specific way. It's where you get clarity, you know? It's where if there was a big old storm, all of a sudden the sun comes out, the birds are chirping, you know, the tide is moving you along. But it's where you have now learned those lessons, usually because of the water, about something emotional that you went through and felt in your life. So it's kind of like leaving the baggage on the shore, and it doesn't even look like you have a suitcase here. You're just bringing your bouquet of wheat. Upside down, it's not navigating a storm properly, letting something trigger you that you should have learned from, learning how to put up your sails, but then not doing it, or not adjusting the sails when you recognize that the water is going to get a little choppy. Six of Swords. Let's see. It's also the 6 is balance in love. And maybe because of the swords, that's mental clarity, but because of all the water, maybe it's balance between the head and the heart. Maybe you're also heading towards something you were thinking about and are now clear on that is a maybe a brand new wish or something you want to experience in your life that does not have to do with love. That could be a project. That could be, I just heard, a new position. I don't know why I keep seeing somebody moving. The Queen of Pentacles. Look at you painting your sunflower. You're grounding something on earth. You're creating beauty in your environment. The Queen of Pentacles she's realistic, she's reliable. She's the queen that knows how to manifest. She brings all the different components that she sees around her together to create, this beautiful portrait of her living world. Because she works with people, places, things. She's usually passionate, but she's really good with her hands. She can be a really hard worker, but she also knows, because it's the queen, when to sit back and let something blossom and unfold. The Queen of Pentacles is really a cool sign. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, she's just long lasting. Usually when the Queen of Pentacles comes in, if she says she's going to start a project, she's not just going to talk about it. She's going to get on that boat, get all the supplies and start that project, and she's going to stick with it until the end. And then she usually taps into that flow of energy because she's connected to Mother Nature. She's connected to growth. She's connected to creativity. So usually she gets a new creative idea and she just wants her growth to keep expanding. She doesn't want something to get stagnant and stuck. If she is upside down, we will take a look-see. If she's upside down, she's really wrapped up in the material world, society. She, really cares about what other people think. She wants to have, the best of the best. So people see the designer label, but maybe put it all in credit and doesn't have, can't even pay the bills. Maybe she can pay all the bills, but she cares so much about how she is presenting herself that she's usually empty. She feels empty. She feels like she has to reach that next goal, or she has to obtain that next thing, and that brings happiness, or that will bring the success, or that will be more abundance. It's like she never really feels like she has enough upside down because she has to be in that position where she's really in tune with her higher self to know that she is enough, that what she has is already perfect, that when she is just, I hear, enraptured in that beautiful sense of, it's both like generosity and graciousness, gratefulness, that she's like, everything is perfect how it is, even if it's so not perfect at all. I hope that made sense. Because the Queen of Pentacles, you know, she could be up there in the VIP, you know, penthouse of a skyrise in Dubai, or she could just have like a little teardrop trailer in a van and want to just kind of travel around and sell her creations. Like, there is no status as to what she has to be. It's just when she's doing what she loves, when she's doing what she's really into, or she loves putting her hands and loving the environment she's in, it's having utmost satisfaction with whatever that is, whatever she chooses. There's no there's no judgment on how big or small that is, as long as she feels that energy of overall abundance and satisfaction and comfort and truth. Because the Queen of Pentacles is pretty realistic. So let's see. Let's get a little advice on the, oh, you have a maybe a couple here. Maybe it's a earthy sign that's more of a feminine energy, and a air sign that's more of a masculine energy. Look at how strong this King of Swords is. But I like that it's a king and a queen, because that's two people that are maturing. I feel like ever since I saw that, I have to switch how I say that. You know, this is, look at that hawk. This is somebody who has focus. This is somebody who knows how to communicate. This is somebody very intelligent, smart, also logical, analytical. But it looks like this king is looking at something definitely through the elevated perspective. This king is also holding on to this energy of both focus and freedom with that bird. There's also something about this king's mind being very strong. This can be somebody who's so set on a certain wish or a certain goal that it can kind of throw them off or get them in a funk if it doesn't work out the way that they planned. So when this king is a little more flexible, also when this king is connected to the strength of his heart to maybe get over an obstacle, get over a mountain, get to see something through a different perspective, and goes in that direction, then, I mean, that's when this king's mind just fires up. So if there was a mountain and it felt like it was going to get him or her stuck, this is the king that can come up with a new solution, a new plan of action, you know, a new way of seeing something. Sometimes this king likes to change his mind a lot because they're always getting new information, and sometimes that makes adjustments on how he or she is maneuvering. But if the King of Swords is upside down, that is somebody just cold, maybe even overly consumed with their own ego and their own mind, their own way of seeing something, and never sees an outside perspective. It could also be where somebody is kind of spewing out their ideas or giving their opinion or overpowering somebody in conversation to the point where they're not hearing somebody's reaction or not even caring how somebody may react from harsh words. That's kind of upside down, but I'm sort of seeing that this is a very warm King of Swords. I'm also seeing this as somebody really strong. Maybe this is somebody who has a small offer here. I feel like this might be a brand new beginning. If something had all the feels, but was it grounded in the earth or the reality of something growing, this is where maybe a couple that's had a lot of experience or separate experiences on their own come together, whether this is through work, power couple, or divine partnership, and you have to go back to the drawing board, start small, begin to grow again. begin to flow again. This is, for me, usually the person that is starting new, but they want to be in the experience. They want their hands on that project they're working on. They want to see the demonstration once, but then they want the remote control and they want to do it themselves. It's not somebody who wants to just observe. They want to feel it. They want to be in the experience. They want to be grounded on that earth and petting the sunflower there, feeling the wind, you know, and this grass kind of roll on their body with the wind on their skin, feeling the coldness of the ground, but the warmth of the sun. This doesn't look like a child to me. This looks like a beginning of a tangible offer that has the potential to really blossom in reality. But with that page, it might start with a clear-cut, realistic, open communication, conversation. Maybe it has to be about the feels instead of just all logic. Maybe it has to be about how to ground something and begin the growth in everyday reality. Maybe it's getting a little creative, and maybe it just starts with a phone call, with a visit, with a date, with an interview. Maybe it also just starts with a moment, really connecting to nature and one's own truth, connecting to their higher self. There's something about energy here coming in, the energy changing. If it's upside down, that's something that had all the potential here, and it was never placed in the ground. It never was going to see that growth because somebody was just walking around with that pentacle instead of putting the effort in. Or somebody put a little effort in and then walked away and never attended that garden at all. Never got past the initial conversation, the initial plans, the initial talk about your wishes, your dreams, your fears, and got more into the experiences to see how it could unfold. It was like let go of too soon, or not given enough energy, or not enough effort placed, or a situation that didn't have enough maturing through experiences to see how it could go, how big it could grow. I hope that made sense. The page is small. Somebody needs to give more than a page's energy for something to, I mean, with this, that's all like soulfully encompassing. Now I see a compass, so maybe it's about somebody gaining new direction. Focus, grounding, and clarity on lessons learned. Let's get one more from the universe. I hope this reading today was helpful for you. Let's get you one more message. Please and thank you. Oh, that was our message. Opportunities. Well, that was the whole beginning of the reading. Opportunities. I did see the doorbell. Where's that? Ding dong, ding dong. Opportunities will soon knock on your door. Wow, debt will be wiped clean. Your bills will be paid in full. I mean, if this queen is working on her own project, her own business, you know, whatever this is a queen that's pretty self-sufficient. She's pretty solid and stable on her own. Or she needs to start to go in that direction because that potential is absolutely within her. Maybe she never gave herself the chance to take that journey, that self-discovery, or that, you know, idea she's always had, or business she's always wanted to run, or service or talent she's wanted to provide, but maybe I don't know why here kept herself tucked away too long. Your finances are about to change. That's really nice. So I do like how this reading kind of came full circle. Wasn't just directed in love land or finance land or anything like that. And I think that this is key. I also feel like I'm getting really proud energy. I feel like you have been very patient. And I do feel like that wasn't always an easy lesson. But I'm getting like a soft calm like allowance kind of energy here. So with this, I bid you adieu. I love you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope something came through here today that was helpful for you. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.